Good morning or good afternoon, whenever you are tackling your reading text. So today we are on part 2 of the Tropical Rain Belt story. We are going to finish the story today. So we are going to be starting at paragraph 8. So you can be annotating as I read. There's also a doc that you can open up and split your screen if you want to look at the questions later and annotate. Remember, our goal as we are reading is to be thinking while we're reading, and you should be underlining or highlighting things as you read. And as you're making those connections or thoughts in your head, you should be writing them in this note section. These should not be blank. Last week I saw some blank columns and a lot of underlining, which that tells me you're thinking. I love it, but remember, we need to be writing something down. A highlight doesn't count as an annotation. Even though you're at home, we still need to go the extra mile. So keep that in mind as we are finishing up the Tropical Rain Belt. All right, paragraph 8. I'm just going to zoom in. So something I noticed though right away is that we have a map. So that's just maybe something you noticed when you previewed the text. All right, and then I'm also going to probably come back to my caption here because I don't want to ignore that either. All right, paragraph 8. One prime example of the effects of the ITCZ can be witnessed in Nigeria. Well, there's Nigeria, and that was just part of my caption right there. Because of its location just north of the equator, Nigeria's climate has hot and wet conditions. These are due to the movement of the ITCZ north and south of the equator. This can be seen in the monthly rainfall for two cities, Kano and Lagos, separated by 800 kilometers, also known as 500 miles. All right, just a side note, a teaching moment here. I see this word because. It's a signal word to me. That's my hint to you for an annotation, perhaps. Hint. Okay. Paragraph 9. When the ITCZ is to the south of the equator, the northeast winds prevail over Nigeria. I'm kind of wondering what this word prevail means. Question. This produces the dry season conditions. When the ITCZ moves into the northern hemisphere, the southwest winds prevail. There it is again. This wind pushes far inland to bring rainfall during the wet season. The result is that there is a prolonged rainy season in the far south of Nigeria. Prolonged. I wonder what that means. On the other hand, the far north undergoes long, dry periods each year. Nigeria, therefore, has two major seasons, the dry season and the wet season. The lengths of the dry season and wet season vary from north to south. Vary is another interesting vocabulary word that we've talked about before, so think about that. You might also want to be thinking maybe about the main idea of paragraph 9 or of this section. That's going to be something we need to be thinking about for an activity later on this week. I believe it's tomorrow on the Wednesday doc. Okay, up to paragraph 10 on page 27. In southern Nigeria, Lagos averages 1,740 millimeters of rain annually. That means like every year. Like, so for example, every year you have a birthday that happens annually, once a year. There are 4 observed seasons. Oh, that makes me think of Downers Grove. A connection. Paragraph 11. The long rainy season starts in March and lasts to the end of July. It peaks in June over most parts of southern Nigeria. So peaks. I wonder what that means. The short dry season is in August and lasts 3 to 4 weeks. This is due to the ITCZ moving to the north of the region. I'm seeing some sort of example in that paragraph. Maybe you're seeing something too. Paragraph 13. The short rainy season follows the brief dry period in August. It lasts from early September to mid-October. It peaks at the end of September. The rains are not usually as heavy as those in the long rainy season. Again, we've got peaks. We have that up in paragraph 11. Interesting. In paragraph 14, the long dry season starts from late October and lasts to early March. It peaks between early December and late February. Vegetation growth is generally hampered. Grass is dry. Leaves fall from trees due to reduced moisture. All right. This is going to be something that will be on your question doc. I'm curious what you're pulling away from that. All right. Something to ponder or think about. What would be like the main idea of this entire section? That's going to be a question that you see in one of your activities tomorrow on the packet page. So that should be something that you're thinking about. What do all of these paragraphs have in common? All right. So again, we've got a chart here. It's comparing Lagos and Kano. And we can see what the chart is showing us. The title here, it's the average monthly rainfall in centimeters. So this should be kind of familiar to you based on what we did in weather last month when we were comparing the temperatures throughout the year in different cities. So that's something we can connect with. All right, I'm moving down to page 28, where I'm starting at paragraph 15. In northern Nigeria, Kano averages 825 millimeters of rain per year. There are only 2 observed seasons in this region. This is because since the ITCZ only moves into the region once a year. I see this word again. A signal word perhaps. An annotation you could be writing. Paragraph 16. The long dry season lasts from October to mid-May. With the ITCZ in the southern hemisphere, the northeast winds over the Sahara prevail over the country. This brings dry conditions. This is the period of little or no cloud cover. And I have a caption here to go along with my picture. The long rainy season in Lagos, Nigeria, lasts from March to July. That looks like it might be a key detail to me. Okay, I'm on my last page of the story, 29, on paragraph 17. The short rainy season covers a relatively brief period, from June to September. Both the number of rain days and total annual rainfall decrease from the south to the north. The rains are heavy and short and frequent. This results in flash floods. Annotate, signal word, important. Paragraph 18. Nigeria is just one nation along the equator that experiences major climate differences from region to region. These differences in climate may affect plants and wildlife. They also affect how people live. Oh, paragraph 18 is full of fabulous things to annotate about. I want you to think on that. All right, and then another caption over here. The dry season in Kano, Nigeria, lasts from October to mid-May. All right. I hope you've got annotations, or I hope I've given you things to think about that you can go back and annotate for. If you need to, re-listen to this and let that help you annotate as you go. Of course, you can pause this as I read and annotate and then pick it back up again. Again, you can split screen your story or your screen so you can get the doc next to it and look at the questions so you have some ideas on what to look for in each paragraph.